Hi humans. Hi humans. Oh my goodness. Oh, the weight of my sitting down. Hi humans. Hope you will be able to see me like this. Hi humans. Thanks for joining my life. Destroy Oh my god. Oh, camera that you're admiring. If I hear, it's looking as if it's too high. You see this thing that was well set before is showing itself. It's showing itself. Hope it's better now. Okay. Thanks for joining. Thanks for I should destroy the camera. Share is my camera I want to destroy. It's not your camera. It is mine. Oh. Let's wait for more persons to tune in. Today is an interesting topic. Happy Sunday, people. For those that went to church today, our service. For those of us that went to church, our service. Dr. Taba, did you go to church today? Hmm? Did you go? So I'll be using maybe this phone to be chatting while I'm here because I may not be able to chat without one. So I'll use this phone to chat you guys from this place. Let's get more persons. There's no church here. Oh, not even church from home. Not even church. I've not gone to church for 2 years. That's serious. Not even church from. My voice is echoing. That is very, very serious. Except online services. That's perfect. So let's see if we can have. I didn't go today because I had a lot on my mind and I needed to rest. But however, I still communicated with God. My body needed rest, so I had to give it to my body. So today, from the thumbnail, you will have seen I've been wanting to do this video, but since I usually come live every Sundays and Tuesdays, he said this is your hairstyle. He says thank you. I didn't like it. I bought it since I did not like it. I did not like it, but I just said let me just wear it. You know, here is wig we wear most times. We wear wig so much here because how will you do it just making hair all the time? We move. Oh. So we are just like how many online? How many are we? We are like three. Okay. Leave Amije. Oh. Leave Amije. Leave Amije for us. So today's video, what's the time now? We spent 5 minutes. Okay, let me see if I can just make it 8 minutes because I want to discuss something very, very vital. Most roots that are introduced, like ways you can japa, most of them require you having a job. Most of them require you having a job, and I want to this live video is to let you know the jobs that are in demand currently in Canada. It's not just applying for anyhow job for you to get your temporary visa, but you need to get a job that will be valuable, that will be useful, that will make you get your work permit. Hope you guys are with me. So, but there is one new route one stream now that just came out. I know most persons have not heard of it. I'll be saying it in this video, but I'll be saying it at the later part of this video. So kindly watch this, stay tuned to this live till the end, because I'm going to be saying that I have not seen that video anywhere. So kindly stay tuned so that I will explain the new routes or stream that you can use to, japa or relocate. I don't even like that word japa. It sounds local. Okay, thank you. Don't touch the die. Okay, thank you. So the jobs in demand in Canada, not just jobs in demand, but jobs in Canada 2023. Jobs in Canada 2023. You are not local, though, Dr. Tabat. You can't be local. So jobs in demand in Canada 2023, we'll be talking about the skilled job and the unskilled one, but is in demand and will be useful in terms of immigration purposes, because most times when people are looking for a job from outside of Canada to work in Canada, their main reason is to use it to move, not just move alone, to become permanent residents. So the first job I have here is sales representative, also known as sales associate. Okay, I've always known it as sales associate. It remains one of the most in-demand jobs in Canada. So when you're a sales representative, you have to grab this. I don't know if you sell anything. It depends, though. It depends on what you are. It could be it's an idea you are selling and all that. So you say you cannot sell anything, but this is the job that is in demand. It always remains one of the jobs or most in demand jobs in Canada. Sales associates or sales representative. So let me just quickly check what sales representative is, so that if you sales representative, so if you have these objectives, then you can now, try to apply. If you are trying to apply, as I say a sales representative is a professional who sells various products and services to customers. So Dr. Tabat, you say you cannot sell anything. So you are not just selling only products, but you also sell services. How can I help you? This and that. Okay, you want to go that way. This is how we do it. It's a form of sales representative job. And their main responsibilities include identifying customer leads, meeting with customers, more like a customer service kind of job, meeting with customers to demonstrate products. For example, like those people that used to sell phones, like I know of Nigeria, my country, they will tell you, oh, this phone is very nice, more like you're advertising a product. This product is very nice. When you use this iPhone, this, that, and this. So those are sales representative responsibilities, and answer their questions as well. So when somebody is interested in buying phone, okay, this is phone, you should be willing to answer their questions and maintain relationship with customers. So this role is highly in demand in Canada. Is highly in demand in Canada. So it's the number one job in demand in Canada. So let's go to the second the second job in demand in Canada. Hi Oyenike, thanks for joining. Kindly like my life. So we are discussing jobs in demand in Canada. That is another way. I've been talking about ways to immigrate. About 80% of the ways to immigrate involves you getting a job. So today is just to state the jobs that are in demand, because definitely it's not all jobs that can give you work permits. I've said that before. So it's for you to look for jobs that are in demand in Canada. So the first one is sales representative or sales associate, and I've just explained their duties. So I want to come to the second one. Hope you guys are following me. So the second one is transport driver. Can you drive? You know you can do transportation job, is in demand. Then the third one is receptionist. Receptionist too, how will they offer you a job without permit? You need to get a job before you can get work permit. The job comes first before the work permit. For example, I'm outside of Canada. I need to apply for a job, and if I get the job, my employer will invite me over. In most cases, they will pay for my expenses, my flight, and everything. And depending on the agreement, after a while, I'll get a work permit. The work permit could say 1 year work permit, but recently they've extended work permit to 18 months, so more like almost 2 years. So the second job in demand is I think I said receptionist. I don't know why this thing is not giving me what I want. Yes. Then you can't take away the place of health related jobs. So we have registered nurse Canada. They said registered nurse has been running under a shortage of medical professionals since. You mentioned reception. Yes, you are right. I'm trying to get where I got that from. Receptionist. Perfect, I've seen it. Transport drivers, receptionists, welder. I mentioned this welder in one of my videos. You know, welding job is a kind of job that is highly relegated. Most people tell you they don't want to get married to a welder, and most schools don't like to teach welding. They feel is, and because of that, the job is going into extinction. So Canada needs the job role of a welder now. So here is the fourth job in demand. Welders wey we dey do see finish. Exactly. There is one job that I really want to be a nurse, but my personality is not nursing the nurse. Oh my god. You see, anything health related, count me out. When I see a child vomiting alone, I'll be shivering. When I see blood, oh my god. If not that I am a mother with kids, it will have been very, very difficult for me. You know, everybody has different places where you can function well. How is the personality? Doctor is asking you. He said, how is the personality? So let me go and learn welding. Is it gender wise? Welding, does it fit ladies? You will treat your husband and pikin. Oh my god. So welding is high in demand in Canada now. So if you know that job and you have some years of experience, I think 6 months in at least 3 years. I don't want to miss it up, but I think that's the requirement. And also you should have certificate to show that you have you have job experience. So transport driver, receptionist, welder, then web developer. That web developer, I heard is hot cake in Canada. If you can develop websites, sorry, I say webs, then is in demand. So you can actually apply for any role under the web developing job, and you just pray and you could just be considered. Another job in demand is day laborer. This one, this one is not a rocket science. Ladies can do anything. I know, but me, I'm just talking for myself. Welding, when there is cooking, when there is all those things, I'm just gonna be doing welding in my eye. Oh my god. So these are the reasons why the job has also reduced. The job is going into extinction. So Canada as a country is trying to bring all these jobs back. So day laborer, if you're a laborer, When they say day laborer, they are not being specific now. Anything you know you can do as a day laborer, so you don't need too much of a brain. Shall I say brain? It's not a rocket science, it's more of your strength. This day laborer, if you know you have the strength, then this job is for you. So what the qualifications you need for this is mechanical skills and abilities, ability to physically, perform more like your physical energy. Then depending on the kind of job, you may need certain certifications. One thing I know about Canada, even UK that I am in now, they don't joke with certifications. They don't joke with it at all. And then Canada too doesn't joke with license. So you can't just, hi UJ's Kitchen, thanks for joining my live. Please, as you are coming in, like the live. I said like the like. So day laborer job. So this one, anybody can fall into it, to do this job. It just requires your physical strength, and then sometimes some certifications could be required. So let's see the next job that is in demand in Canada. This one is hot cake. Software engineer. I need to take my web. Oh, really? You're a web designer. My husband did web designing last year, so he was trying to design a website for me. One thing led to another. He got carried away. Even when I asked him, now can you develop a website for me, he said he can't remember. But it's hot cake. I have a friend, she's a YouTuber, Tech with Bumi. She does all those digital stuff. She's good and she's making good money from her business. She's a YouTuber, Tech with Bumi. So software engineers, we have a lot of technology industries in Canada. So because of that, they will always require, yes, Bumi is the person. So she does all this anything related to web, digital stuff, softwares. She's good at it. So, and I'm happy that she is in Canada. Because she's in Canada, she's thriving well. She has ChatGPT on Udemy that she just launched, so she's doing well. So those are the kind of people that are enjoying Canada. So software engineers, they are required in the technology industry, and the technology industry has really been experiencing period of hardship because of the layoff, especially during the pandemic. So because of that, they are needing more software engineers, and the qualifications, you need to just have your diploma certification in software engineering or computer studies. Then you should know some computer codes, HTML, JavaScript, Python. My husband knows Python. Maybe I'll tell him to consider this part. The another job in demand in Canada in 2023 is mechanic. This is also another job that is relegated in some countries. I don't want to mention. When you tell somebody you're a mechanic, first of all, you look dirty. But the mechanics in abroad here, they look very touche. The mechanic workshops I've seen here, very neat. Some countries you will see grease everywhere on the floor. So because of that, most people don't like, they treat them as being irrelevant. But ideally, when you're a mechanic in most of these Western worlds, yeah, so there's a mechanic shop close to my church. Neat. If you see all of them, well, with their kits and everything, you would like to have them as friends. But meanwhile, you see some mechanics, you will not want to have anything to do with them. So in this job roles, there's always certifications, and you also need trainings. That training you cannot do without it, because if you have certifications and you are not properly trained, you can't function. So the qualification for this is your training and your certifications, and you are going to be very attentive to whoever is training you. They should also be committed to learning. You understand? Another job in demand is human resource manager. So why I like these jobs in demand in Canada is that it's mixed. It's not all white collar jobs, and it's not all, is it brown collar jobs now? Somebody should help. Is there anything like brown collar jobs? So it is mixed. So if you don't fit in here, you will fit in here, and you don't have to be too learned like all those day laborer jobs. It doesn't require too much of a book work, but it's more like your physical strength. Okay, they need more of your energy. Okay, blue collar job, I said brown collar job. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Taba. So it requires, so it is a mixed up kind of, I've not even come to the health line. No. I'm just talking generally about what is the jobs in demand. Also, these jobs in demand are peculiar to some provinces. What I mean is that Ontario, I did a video 2 days ago, no, yesterday, about jobs in demand. So in Ontario, they need manufacturers, they need I think web developers. Also have some provinces that really want some specific jobs. I don't know if you are getting my point, but generally I'm just saying the jobs in demand. But if you want to be more specific, if you want to be more direct, you can just go to any province you wish to settle and ask them the kind of jobs in demand. It will not take anything. Like I said before, there is a new stream that you can use to immigrate now that is less stressful, and I will mention it maybe 15 minutes to the time I will finish this live. So it's more like a giveaway expo. So let's continue. So there are more like 15, about 15 jobs. So now nurses are also needed in Canada, and they will always be in demand. You can't separate Canada from health work, because people will give birth, people fall sick. So if you are in a nurse or you are in the health line, Dr. Tabat, you are a doctor, your job is in demand. Your job is in demand. So your qualification, you just need your license, your certification in nursing, degrees and diplomas depending on the one you have, strong people skills, able to focus and pay attention to under stressful situations. So let's see another job that is in demand. Pharmacists. But they make an ad for us now, because you are dealing with lives. So you have a lot of trainings and certifications, and you need your license. Even my own job too, I applied, since I'm still waiting. I've applied for my professional job, I'm still waiting. So there are some jobs that are professional jobs, exactly, that require you to have license. Without license, you will not be accepted. You will not become a permanent resident. You understand? You may only go there to school. So you can't escape some steps when you are trying to undergo some things in Canada. That one is normal. So the next job in demand is pharmacists. So pharmacists provide important medications. We all know what they do. So they are in demand, and you will also need your license for this job, because it's a professional job. Even with the license, you must be at least a PR. Yes, but that is for medical line people. If you're in engineering, yeah, if you're in engineering, you need a license to become a permanent resident. Let me see what you wrote. I didn't understand what you wrote there. You said even with licensure, you must be at least a PR. Are you saying you must be a PR to have a licensure, or because I'm not getting you? Even with licensure, you must be a PR. What I'm saying is that it was with our license we got our PRs. It was without the license, they didn't give us our nomination. So we got nominated by supplying our license. So you need your license, you need your certificate, you need your trainings. So the next is warehouse worker. That's also another cheap job anybody can look for. And let me quickly chip this in. It is not all employers that can give you work permits. It is not all. And I stated in one of my videos, maybe 3 or 4 videos back, that you need to know the job that can give you work permit. And there's a way you can know it. you check the status of the job, or sorry, you check the status of the employer. If the employer has LMIA with the government, you it will be showing green. If it does not have, it will be showing red. If it's if it does not have, it will be white. If it's pending, I think it will be red. So if the person has green, showing that he has LMI, then that's your job that you are going to be getting from that employer can make you have your work permit. So I'm just trying to chip it in so that you not just see anyhow job, then you go and apply. At the end of the day, they'll say sorry, we can't give you work permit. So let's be guided. So another job that can that are in demand is graphic designer. Dr. Taba, do you know more of graphics? It's also in demand, and the qualification is that you need to have strong creative thinking and design skills. So you also need to be familiar with design programs and software applications, to be able to apply for this job. The last job in demand here is physiotherapist. Who are physiotherapists? They are the people that provide physical therapy and rehabilitation of people who have suffered acute injuries. So if you are in this line, then you can consider looking for this job and applying. And then even though you have to work from home, there are some jobs that you can do while working from home, like therapists. Most therapists, they will just, they will bring, if it's a child they are working on, can be going to the person's house, whichever agreement they have with the parents or whoever the guardian, you can do your job. So this job is also in demand, and then your qualification is that you need to be trained, you need to be certified, and you need to be licensed, because it's a professional job. And you also need to understand biology and then physical fitness to be able to do this. Now I want to go to job in demand in Saskatchewan. If you know, you know. I'm interested in Saskatchewan because that is where I will settle in last. So depending on the province you will be staying in, it's good the jobs in demand in that place. Okay, so I'll be checking the jobs in demand in Saskatchewan. Jobs in demand in Saskatchewan, because that is where I will still be at the end of the day, by the grace of God, in Saskatchewan. So we want to know the jobs that are in demand in Saskatchewan. Nurses are needed there, is in demand. Then if you are good at delivery and courier services, then it's in demand. I like the way they put this. They also put their knock. Knock is an occupational classification. Is a national occupational classification, so that when you are applying, maybe for your express entry or whatever, you will know where you fall. Because these nurses, they have different types. We have nurse aid, we have auxiliary nurse, we have normal nurses. So with these jobs in with the knock code, you'll be able to know where you belong. Then delivery and courier service drivers, physicians, so it could be family physician, it could be specialist. So these jobs too are in demand. Then cooks are also in demand in Canada. Then food and beverage servers. You saw these little jobs that people commonize. They are the jobs that are in demand in Saskatchewan, that does not need you to have too much of educational background. But if you have your certifications, you have your trainings and all that, you'll be able to function well. So nurses are in demand. Delivery and courier services drivers are in demand. Physicians are in demand. Cooks, let me dwell a little on these cooks. Said restaurateurs in Saskatchewan are in dire need of cooks. as the hospitality sector faces an unprecedented labor shortage. So for you to apply for this job, the place that a recognized platform where you can apply for this job that is really, 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 really recognized by the Canadian government is through Job Bank. That is not the only place where you can apply for job, but we have like 13, 10, 13. I have the video on my channel, but the one that Canada government really recognizes is the Job Bank. So in that job bank, we have about 271 jobs for cooks in Saskatchewan. So you can go check there, and it is not the highest paying work. The median annual income for this, based on testimony, is this. It's not that high, but then you can start from somewhere. Another job in demand is food and beverage servers. Where I work, I have little knowledge on this food and beverage. I used to do hot drinks. So again, if you are in this line, you know how to do your coffees, you know how to do your hot drinks, you know how to serve all those things, then it's in demand. You can consider checking it. So they are also facing shortage in that line. Then the next one is retail sales associates. Don't forget, initially I said Canada is in need of sales representative or sales associate. So to be specific with the province, Saskatchewan also needs a retail sales associate. So this one is maybe all those stores, all those grocery stores, you know, all those supermarkets. This where you can easily function. Saskatchewan also needs transport truck drivers. I mentioned that before. The farm and harvesting workers. If you are the type that have interest in farming things and harvesting work, then this job is in demand. So we'll keep going. Then underground production and development miners, they are in demand too in Saskatchewan. Then laborers in processing, manufacturing, and utilities are also in demand. So you need to go check for all these on Job Bank, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google, on which other platform can you use to get jobs? Other good websites where you can get jobs. So you need to go check all these out. So those are the jobs in Saskatchewan. So when you talk about jobs in demand in Manitoba, because like I said, you need to be more specific when you are looking for jobs in Canada, because definitely you must find yourself in one of the provinces. So you want to know the jobs that are in demand in Canada. So let's go there. So they need registered nurses in Canada. So if you're in the nursing line, then you can consider checking this. Then they need heavy equipment mechanics. They need heavy equipment operators. Although there are not so many jobs, even there are not so many jobs in Manitoba, but then there are some jobs. Please, if you want to understand all these things better, you can watch my last video, which I uploaded yesterday, on cities where you can, or provinces where you can reside in this 2023. So there are some jobs that are peculiar to some of those provinces. So cooks are also needed in Manitoba. So if you have good interest in cooking, just get your license. That's all. Your food handling certificate or food landing license. Then you'll be able to get a job in a food industry. You will also be able to run your food business if you have a food handler license, which I am currently working on, because Joy, that loves to cook. So I'm working on that. So if I have my license, I can cook with my free mind. Okay. So you need that if you want to be in the food line, in the cooking industry, food and beverages, and you are wishing or thinking of setting up your own in the future. You need your food handler certificate and license. Then food safety and hygiene. food hygiene and safety, I don't know, the HSC. So you need to get all those things. Then software developers are also needed in Manitoba. Should I now go to the new stream, the one that is in vogue now? I said before I do a video on it, let me just mention it on this live. Most people have not heard of it, so it's an opportunity for most persons to grab now. Okay, so but let me run down this. Software developers are also needed in Manitoba. Accountants are needed in Manitoba. Construction trade helpers are needed. The retail sales associates are needed in Manitoba. So I just read out two provinces what they need, and then we have about 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada, talking about the Ontario, Prince Edward Island, um, Nova Scotia, and the rest of it. So you can just go run it down. You know, in all these things, you need to be informed. You need to know, know, be good with your internet, because so that you can get first-hand information. So now the new stream, like I promised, is the rural renewal stream. That's the new one that people are now using to immigrate to Canada. So let me read it out. The rural renewal stream addresses current labor shortage or current labor needs and skills shortages in rural Alberta communities. So this one is just peculiar to Alberta. Rural part of Alberta is the place that is organizing this program, that is organizing this stream. So if you are interested, just go to your browser and type rural renewal stream. Go to your browser and type it. Then when you click on it, let me see what it's going to bring out. It said rural renewal stream community designation. So this is what it's all about. The stream is community driven. So this is a way of also coming to Canada through one of those communities in Alberta, rural communities. So once designated, the community then works with employers to attract, recruit, and retain newcomers by sharing information on settlement support. So it's one way now, or one of the ways people are using to move now to Canada, rural renewal, whatever. So I'll be reading what you need to be eligible for this. It said a candidate must be selected and endorsed by a designated community and meet all criteria for the rural renewal stream. It's almost like a nomination. This route now is almost like nomination, because in nomination, a particular province will nominate you, but this one is a particular community in Alberta province is what will nominate you. So nomination is more like provincial, while this one is community driven. So this stream is community driven. So if you want to move now, you type in rural renewal stream. It is Alberta as a province that is organizing it, and it is community based. Okay, so this thing just came out like few days ago. So the communities that are designated to invite people are you can just check that on the internet. There are many, so they are the ones that can really invite people. So now I want to talk about the community designation and what you require for this route, for this stream. So it said interested communities that may need you fill out a community designation application form. Additional points will be awarded for communities with less than 10,000 residents. So what I just see here is that the villages or the rural part of Alberta needs people. So the fewer the residents, or the fewer the people in that community, the more the chances of them of that community getting more people to come and settle there. I don't know if I'm making sense. So once a community is designated, they will be able to attract, recruit, and retain newcomers. Who are the newcomers? Me and you, or anybody that's interested in moving to Canada. So now let's check the requirements. So this is just one way that people don't really talk about. I've not seen it on even YouTube channel. I just stumbled across it. I say, oh, before I will settle down and make video, let me quickly release the info to my subscribers and people that are interested in, relocating. So now the mandatory requirement for this is an application will only be evaluated if all of the mandatory requirements below are met. So now let's look at the requirements. My battery is low. Let's look at the requirements. The requirement is that community that wants you must have a population that is less than 100,000. If you can actually check that online. Everything now is online. You can just type rural communities in Alberta. It will display the rural communities for you. Start checking the population of each of the communities. So anyone you see that is less than 100,000, target that community. Okay. Second, so under the rural communities with population less than 100,000, you say rural communities in the same economic region may form a partnership to submit an application. So like I told you, you can actually check for the figure of the people living in that community. So another requirement is that one or more employers are interested in participating and have permanent or full-time or non-seasonal employment available. So in that same community, any employer that may be interested in employing you must have like 12 months full-time non-seasonal employment, whatever available. It's not an employer that will practice for 6 months. It will stop, it will come again. The employer must have non-seasonal employment available. It is not when this season comes there is job, when this season come another season comes, so there's no job. The person must have non-stop, must have full time, and minimum of 12 months. So if you meet with any employer with this requirement and you meet a community with less than 100,000 people, then maybe that's where God is calling you to. Okay, so that's one of the requirements. Then the third requirement is that an endorsement letter of support from participating town or municipal council signed by the mayor or whatever. That one sounds somehow. But then I'm going to be leaving the link of this route that is invoked now. I'll be putting it after this live. I'll be putting it in the description box. Then on a good day, I can do a video on it and show you how you can apply. Then you need an endorsement letter. I don't think that won't be difficult. You need an endorsement letter of support from the participating town. So if a particular community is supporting your coming, you can. That one is like it's similar to letter of nomination or nomination letter. If a community wants you and an employer has employed you, you can also write to them that they should give you a letter of support, like backing up the job they must have given to you. Yeah. Another requirement is that application is signed and submitted by the Economic Development Organization with a primary function in development, and this development plan or this does not need to be current. So I think that one is after you have gotten a role, then you will need your application to be signed by the EDO, that is Economic Development Organization. So let's see, you see now, just 4 things are required for this routes. 4 things, in which 2 are very major: knowing the population of the community and also knowing the status of the employer. When you say status of the employer, that the employer has a full-time job, sorry, not full-time job, full-time non-seasonal employment available, so those are the features you should look out for. So uses not allowed, for everything that has pros, we still have cons. Okay, so what this rural renewal stream cannot be used for, you may be thinking, oh, I want to use it to jackpot, I want to, yeah. So there are some conditions, that are tied to this. So you cannot use this rural stream or rural renewal stream for recruiting part-time or seasonal workers. So if you are an employer that is employing somebody, you must be recruiting somebody that will do a full-time job. Abroad here, especially in the UK, I don't know about Canada, one person can be having 3 jobs. You work here, you work here, you work here. But if you are successful in this stream, then you have to work full-time under this rural renewal stream. Okay, so recruiting part-time or seasonal workers is not allowed under this stream. The individuals nominated under the stream will still need to be licensed. We still need to be licensed by the respective provincial regulatory organization. That is, if their occupation is regulated or meets Alberta industry. This one is very explicit. For example, my battery is low. So for example, you get a job non-season. Now we've established the fact that it has to be non-seasonal job. For example, you've gotten a non-seasonal job under this stream. If that job is a regulated job, what are regulated jobs? Regulated jobs are jobs in Canada that requires licensing, e.g. engineering, pharmacy, health. So those jobs are regulated jobs. So irrespective of the fact that the community has told you to come and work and you are having a full-time work, if it's a regulated job, you still need to be licensed under the provincial regulatory organization, because we are dealing with Alberta now. So it is the provincial regulatory organization that issues license in Alberta. So depending on the kind of job you are doing there, as long as it's regulated, you will need licensing. So, and again, if you go to that site, you can actually learn more. You can learn more about the regulated occupations in Alberta, the industry, and the rest. So now that I've established the requirements, what is not allowed in the program or the stream, now is how to apply. How to apply before you apply. So I'll just be reading them out, although there is a PDF sheet that you can actually read that can explain this thing more. So before you apply, let me read that. Communities must have the capacity to attract, recruit, and welcome newcomers. We said that before. It's one of the things that should enable you to be recruited. The community must have capacity. If the community is not matured enough, let me put it like that, if the community is not strong enough to accept persons, then there is no need for them to recruit. So before you apply, make sure that they have the capacity to recruit in order to participate in this stream. A rural renewal stream candidate is a foreign national who does not have permanent residence or Canadian citizenship. This person could be living in or outside of Canada. Opportunity. You don't need to be fully in Canada to apply for this. You could even be outside of Canada to do this. Okay, so what this means is that you don't have a permanent residence yet in order to apply for this rural renewal stream, and you don't even have a Canadian citizenship yet. So a neutral person can actually apply for this stream. All right, So now let's check for the community requirements, which I have also read out. I've read that out already. So now they are saying if you have any question to ask them, you can actually contact them. So now let me answer some questions. Say there is no direct funding. There's no direct funding for the rural renewal stream. However, the government of Alberta offers grants to support capacity building of small center or rural areas to attract, welcome and retain newcomers. So these grants are part of an annual call for proposals. So that's also another way the government supports these communities. And don't think, oh, I'm going to a village. Dr. Taba said child. But it's true, I will do a video on it, but I don't want it to be too late before I'll do a video on it. Most people have not discovered this route. What most persons know is that express entry, targeted express entry, so through study visa, through this and that. This is a very easy way you can actually move that does not require so much. So he said notes, incomplete applications and or applications that do not have all mandatory requirements will not be evaluated. So you know Canada way now, if you don't have the proper documentations, they will just put you aside and they will face the next person. Will they wait for the video? Dr. Talbot, a lot to do in a very short while. A lot to do. That's why I'm taking advantage of this life, at least to disburse whatever information I have. So now that support letter I talked about, that's the endorsement support letter. He said endorsement support letter from participating towns. So any town or community that want to participate in this, that is recruiting people. He said the endorsement letter should outline the following on the official letterhead paper. Life is for people that can speak English. You always make me laugh. We guys edit our own English first. Doctor, please, you are pulling my legs. You speak better than I do. That I know very well. So the things your letter should contain. The letter should outline the following on the official letterhead: name and address of the participating town or municipality supporting the application. This thing it just looks like nomination to me. If you have experienced nomination before, if you have heard anything about nomination, this one will not be too different for you. It will not be too far. So you also the letter should outline the participating town, the municipality that acknowledges support for this project and meeting dates that this project was discussed. Then the letter should also outline a participating town or municipality that acknowledges that their community name will be posted like that on the government of Alberta website should their community become designated. Then again, the letter should outline the name, title, contact information of the mayor. I think that's the oga there, or reef. I don't know if that's what they call it, issuing the endorsement letter. So it's not much, just 4 things that should be highlighted or on the endorsement letter or the support letter. So now let's keep going. We're almost done. So when you have done all this, the next thing you need to do is just to submit the application. So the completed application and supporting documents need to be submitted for designation by email, and the email is ruralrenewal@government, that is at gov.ab.ca. So I believe the app is Alberta. So you just submit everything. Shikena, very concise, very simple. So he said how the applications will be evaluated. Applications will be evaluated on a point system, almost like that CROS, because the Canadian system the Canadian system works based on points. So applications will be evaluated on a point system. So points for each category are noted in the application, and communities must score a minimum of 150 points in order to be considered for designation. So if multiple applications are received at the same time, okay, selection will be based on top scores. I think this one is even okay. Sometimes if you do multiple applications, they will help you cancel one. But here they are saying if you do multiple applications, maybe to different communities in Alberta, the one that is top will be considered first. So when you have done this, we need to know what will happen after you must have submitted. So after you must have submitted your application, the government of Canada, the government of Alberta representatives will review the initial application and let the applicant know if the application is complete. So this one is like stage one. Maybe there is a stage they will first check if your application is complete. So all sections of the application are fully completed and all mandatories have been provided and met. So the amount of time this review will take will depend on the volume of applications, so that you don't pester them. The more applications they receive, the more the time they will spend evaluating them. So once the application has been reviewed and deemed complete, the applicant will receive an email confirming the official date of submission. Okay, and at this point, anything you submitted cannot be altered. It cannot be altered. So you have to be careful while doing this application. So now he said the application will be evaluated and a government representative will contact the community to indicate the status of the application within 8 weeks. Very short. Within 8 weeks is like 2 months of the official submission date. So the applicant will be notified if more time is needed and will be notified of the outcome of the application. So this one is more like good luck. So community designation will last 3 years to the date that the community received email confirmation and designation. I'm trying to be fast. Time is not on my side. And there will be an option to extend the designation by an additional 2 years to a maximum of 5 years. With that said, you can even start applying for your permanent residency. Start for a way. So now this is the last part of this. He said after receiving designation, then attracting and recruiting will now commence. When this commences, a designated community will now be able to partner with some local economic development organizations and employers responsible for recruiting people, and then candidates may now be recruited from within Alberta or Canada or outside of Canada. So at this stage, I can now say congratulations to the person that must. These stages are just very explicit. You just need to study well. You go to their site and check for all these communities, rural communities, Alberta, and just try your luck. Let's leave express entry for now. Let's leave study route for now. You can consider this route now, okay? He said candidates that are currently living in Canada are only eligible if they have legal status in Canada. But if the community is recruiting outside of Canada, all federal immigration rules and regulations apply. So now at this point, I will start calling it a day. So there are still more to it, there are still more to this, and I will be linking this site to this video after now, so you can check it out. So today I just did a general overview of the jobs in Canada, and I also did an overview of the jobs in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Then you can also, because of time, I couldn't really go through all of the jobs in demand in Canada this 2023, and you can just check that on your own. Again, the new way people are using is this rural renewal stream, and it's being organized by some rural communities in Canada. So kindly seize this opportunity, and I wish you well if you are trying to utilize this opportunity. Yeah, I wish you well in your journey. It is not really easy, but thank God there are many ways now that you can use to immigrate. So just check this out, okay? And if you have any questions you are not clear about, kindly leave them in the comment section. I will try to respond as soon as I can. Yes, as soon as I can. So my next live will be on Tuesday. So if you have any question, you just let me know ahead, and by grace of God, we'll see how we can address it. So if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, kindly do. And if you have not liked this video yet, please do, so that we can push the algorithm high. See you all in my next video or my next live, whichever one will come first. And bye.